Hey guys, it's me, Pomni. I'm here to react to the Child's Play kill count. I've never done this before, so hopefully I don't get scared and run away and freak out. The link to James A. Janice's channel will be linked in our description of this video, so make sure to check him out.
Serious horror into self-effacing parody and back to horror again. With 6 films and a 7th coming out in just a few weeks, its success and notoriety is entirely because of the central character, Chucky the Killer Doll. Possessed by the spirit
I'm not that good with horror, so I hope I survive this video, because I have another video to film after this one, so hopefully I make it out of this video alive.
Or just an innate, deep-seated fear of creepy-looking dolls, it seems like Chucky is the killer people have the most nightmares about. Sorry, Fred. Which sounds like the perfect reason to me to cover Chucky and all his escapades that span the 30 years he's been around. But before we can get to all the crazy sequels that see him get married and have a kid, we've got to start from the beginning and his very first kills. Without further ado, let's get to him.
Well, here we go. Let's get started.
The movie begins with a foot chase. Detective Mike Norris is in pursuit of Charles Lee Ray, a guy with the most serial killer name imaginable. Norris gets a shot in on Ray, scaring his partner Eddie Caputo enough to drive off in the getaway van, leaving Ray behind.
Help me! Eddie, don't leave me, God, no!
Ray ducks into a toy store where the title card pops up over a display of good guy dolls. Ray's not very good at this whole escape thing though, because Norris lands another shot on him. After stumbling around looking like a drunk Tommy Wiseau impersonator, he realizes he's going to die soon, so he makes a theatrical threat to Detective Norris.
I'm gonna get you, and I'm gonna get Eddie, no matter what!
So far I'm freaking out already, and the craziness hasn't even started yet.
I only included a clip of the chant because after working on this series so much, I've been saying Ade Due Dambala in my sleep, and if Chelsea has to suffer through hearing that shit, then so do you. A bunch of ominous thunderclouds roll in overhead, and one lightning strike later, the entire toy store blows up from the inside out, leaving the place looking like Santa's workshop after one of the elves had an accident cooking meth. The only thing left for Norris to find is Ray's dead body lying next to a good guy doll. Obviously, Ray has transferred his soul into it, but I'm still gonna throw Charles Lee Ray up on the kill.
Well, I mean, he's a bad guy, so I think that's a good thing? I'm not sure.
Our adorable little hero of the film, Andy Barclay. He's making a breakfast of sugar.
Are we sure this is healthy?
Because it's his damn birthday, and there's nothing he wants more for it than an animatronic good guy doll, as hawked to him by this terrifying mascot good guy who I just need to see someone cosplay as. Let me down, people. But when he opens the big box for him from his mom, Karen, it's just a bunch of dumb clothes inside. Quit your whining, kid. A good guy doll won't keep you warm through a Chicago winter. And besides, the damn things cost $100. Way too much for this working class single mother. But at work, Karen is presented with a solution when her pink lady friend Maggie tells her about a sweet clearance sale going on in the alleyway. She goes out back and buys one of these giant life-size dolls for only $30 from a very charming street peddler.
How do we know the damn thing isn't stolen, huh?
Steal this!
When she gets
that wasn't
inside,
very polite at all.
Tells her she has to work late that night, so Maggie agrees to watch Andy. Karen's able to stop home first and give Andy his street doll, and the two little boys take an immediate liking to each other.
Hi, I'm Andy. Hi, I'm Chucky.
Still no. No.
Things couldn't be better for Andy, who gets to teach his new friend all sorts of things.
See? That's how you build things.
And they're pretty swell for Chucky, too. Look, free TV, and the anchor is talking about Charles Lee Ray. That's his favorite program. Andy tells Maggie that Chucky wants to watch the news, but she says it's late and tries to put the boys to bed. She's surprised a little later when she finds the TV turned back on and Chucky's sitting in a chair.
I think that's the doll where they have the soul from that criminal from earlier transferred inside.
Goofing though, so she puts him to bed, wrapped up real tight next to Chucky, showing us just how big Chucky's damn head is. Look at that thing. Later that night, while Maggie's trying to read, Chucky runs down the hall behind her, but she just thinks it's Andy. When she goes to look for him, she finds a bunch of flour spilled on the floor, and as she's cleaning it up, she gets a hammer to the face, causing her to stumble back and fall out the window of their awesome-looking apartment building in a really long, drawn-out slow-motion shot until she finally lands on the
I'm gonna cry.
Second kill of the movie, 23 minutes in. Karen gets home and runs down the hall like a Disney princess to find Andy hanging out with Detective Norris. He tells her about Maggie's death and points out the cute little footprints in the flour by the window. He checks out Andy's pajama soles, and hey, look, it's the same design. Ain't that something? Karen's not happy about the insinuation and tells Norris to go on and get, but before he does, Andy has an adorable little light bulb go off and sees that Chucky has flour on the bottom of his shoes. He gets so excited to tell the grown-ups that he can't even make it all the way through his line.
Mommy, I know who was on the kitchen counter.
Mike humors him by asking who did it.
Chucky.
And
I gotta admit, that was pretty cute.
Mike and Karen don't believe him because, you know, they're not insane people. Andy might be, though, because Karen finds him sitting on the floor and talking to Chucky. Apparently, Chucky's been sharing secrets with Andy.
His real name is Charles Lee Ray.
I would have thrown that doll away if he says his real name is Charles Lee Ray.
No way to make this next line sound innocent, though.
He said Aunt Maggie was a real bitch and got what she deserved.
Should that kid be saying such words like that? I don't think he should be saying such words like that.
Chucky to school, and it looks like a bunch of other kids are bringing their good guys to class too. I hope the school has extra seats for all these giant-ass dolls, man. Turns out they won't need one for Chucky though, because Andy shows how ex-core he is by ditching school and riding a train all by himself. He's directed by Chucky to a much more unsavory part of town, the part of town where old furniture sits outside just waiting for a doll to make use of it. Andy picks up the lay of the land real quick when he goes to take a piss behind the heap of garbage on the street. While he's occupied, Chucky disappears and runs to the house that he knows Eddie Caputo is hiding out in. While Eddie is fast asleep in the rat sanctuary he calls home, Chucky opens up the oven and blows out the pilot light, then cranks the gas up. Eddie wakes up and is suspicious of the noises he hears, so he takes his itchy trigger finger and slinks around the house.
Why do I feel like he's next? Like, yep, there he goes. He's next to go.
And incinerates Eddie Caputo for the third kill of the movie. At least no one has to pay for a funeral since he's getting buried in that collapsing building. And also because he's probably an estranged felon with no family to speak of. Karen gets called down to the station by Detective Norris because they've picked up Andy and are questioning him in what looks like a sketch parody of an interrogation scene. What would that sketch be called? Good guy, bad cop? Andy tries to get Chucky to talk in front of the adults, but Chucky won't budge, causing Andy to get real upset. In fact, he gets so worked up that, again, he can't make it through a whole line of dialogue.
He told me never to tell about him or he'd kill me.
Oh my god, Alex Vincent is the cutest kid I've ever seen. This Harry Carey looking doctor says he wants to watch over Andy for a few days, so Karen returns home with just Chucky. She implores him to talk.
At least she gets to see what the real thing behind the doll is gonna look like now.
Laugh off her unease, but when she's looking at the good guy box, the batteries fall out. Oh snap, Karen, them bats ain't in that doll at all. When she goes to double check that they're absent, Chucky goes full exorcist on her.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Yep, I'm out. I'm out. I knew that was gonna happen somewhere. I'm out.
To her in the audience.
You stupid bitch, you filthy slut! Did you fuck with me?
He bites her arm before she manages to fend off his attack. Then he runs away and takes the elevator down to escape her. So now Chucky's on the loose. Karen tracks down
now
Norris
she gets to
tell him
see
that
the
Andy's not
true,
lying,
real thing about him.
Detective Norris that she's not a crazy lady. Not to be deterred, she takes off on her own and heads back down to Peddler Pete's Doll Emporium to question him on where Chucky came from. But all he's interested in is committing sexual assault. Luckily, Norris shows up.
Just to let you know, this is a family-friendly channel, so
save Karen from
don't
question
us.
The peddler to talk, and he says he found the doll in a burned-down toy store. Oh shit, Norris, you know that place.
Charles Lee Ray died there.
We're doomed.
That's the one. After Norris drops Karen off at home, Chucky surprises him from the backseat of the car by choking him with some jumper cables. Norris drives through the streets like it's Crazy Taxi until he's able to grab his cigarette lighter and stab Chucky in the face with it. Chucky don't give up that easily though, so he starts stabbing at Norris with a butcher knife, even almost getting him in the baby maker. Then presses the pedal to the metal until Norris flips the car over and crashes it. Chucky misses a stab and runs away, taunting that Norris can't hurt him, but when Mike finally does land a shot, it actually does throw Chucky back and hurt him. So Chucky goes to see John, his plainly named voodoo man who taught him all those creepy chants from the beginning. And this is the scene where we get
I have no words.
Action. Most of it
no
still looks great,
words.
although the talking doesn't always match up with the mouth. John tells Chucky that the doll is becoming his body, but when Chucky demands that John help him get out of this mess, John refuses.
You're an abomination. An outrage against nature!
Damn, that guy went from zero to abomination speech real fast. Chucky don't take too
Well,
time
at least he's not really gonna try to help him in any way.
Seriously messing with him. First breaking his leg and then breaking his arm.
Oh my gosh.
threatening to do more
Okay,
until we finally
he's
get
using
some
a voodoo
information out.
doll.
John tells him he's gotta put his
I didn't
soul
think
into
that
the
was
first human
possible.
being he told that he was alive, which just so happens to be Andy.
I have a date with a 6-year-old boy.
Chucky, phrasing. He thanks John for the help by stabbing his voodoo doll in the heart. John stays alive long enough for Norris and Karen to show up, and he warns them about Chucky's plan to date her little boy. Oh, also, he says the only way to destroy Chucky is to kill the heart.
Through the heart.
Oh, sorry, kill the heart, whatever that is. You sure you don't mean heart?
Through the heart.
All right, kill the heart. Got it. His wisdom fully dispensed.
What a good
John
guy.
puts his head back and
Feel
dies.
bad that he had to go.
The movie. Chucky manages to infiltrate the mental hospital and sneak into Andy's room, then walk super creepily across the floor and climb onto the bed. God damn, that looks crazy. Also crazy is this one shot of Chucky when Andy runs away. That is clearly a guy in a suit. Chucky attacks Andy in an operating room, and Andy grabs a scalpel to defend himself with, but he's such a cute little clumsy kid, he can't help but keep falling backwards all over himself. God damn it, this is the cutest kid in the world. I'ma keep saying it, yo. Dr. Harry Carey just thinks he's crazy though, and he tries to sedate him with drugs. But before he can get all those delicious drugs into Andy's system, Chucky stabs him in the back of the leg, giving us a good blood spurt and knocking Dr. Harry Carey down. Chucky then sticks this electrical belt thing on his head and starts shocking him to death. As Andy falls over again, Chucky keeps the bolts coming. It It might be. It
I don't even know if I should blur this or not.
Fifth kill of the movie. Holy cow. Andy makes his way back home by himself somehow, barring the front door and hiding in the closet. While he's pulling a real Laurie Strode, Chucky drops down through the chimney and kicks down the guard like a pissed off mini murder Santa. He stalks his way down the hallway to give Andy a fun little surprise. And then he chases him a whole bunch, eventually knocking him out with a toy bat and a pun. His incantation vacation is over and he gets to work on that creepy chant from the beginning.
Give me the power, I beg.
But it's even creepier now since it's being done by a freaking Cabbage Patch Kid. Ominous clouds roll in to confirm that the chant is going well. Norris and Karen arrive and are able to break through Andy's weak-ass barrier, but when Karen stops Chucky, he bites her in the shoulder and slices Norris in the back of the leg. Norris goes looking for him, only to have Chucky knock the wind out of him with that bat, but then Karen comes in and shoots Chucky down for the win. He's able to bounce back and jump on her, attacking her once more before she tosses him in the fireplace and cages him there like a rabid raccoon. Andy comes over to finish the job and Chucky tries to plead with him.
We're friends to the end, remember?
This is the end, friend.
Andy lights him
What
up
he
and
just
gives
said
us
just
this
makes me feel
disturbing
so much
image of
better.
a nearly human-sized doll running around on fire and climbing on furniture, looking like a toddler flaming torch. You'd think that would be the end of it, but no. After the Barkleys go tend to Detective Norris, Chucky friggin' disappears. He comes back to
I was
Andy
kind of
like a
hoping
grade
that would be
school
the end
bully
of it.
and comes after him, even though at this point he's been
I
reduced to a
seriously don't know if I
smoking,
should blur this or
overgrown
not.
adult. We get
It's
some
really
classic horror imagery,
disturbing.
like the stabs through the door and POV chasing until Karen shoots Chucky a bunch of times, decapitating him and taking off several limbs with her shots. That's some dope aim, Karen. She finally shoots him in the chest, and we think it's finally all over for good because, like, come on. Norris's cop partner shows up, and even though Norris tells him it was the doll, he's skeptical of the story. Lucky for Norris's credibility, it's actually not all over for good, as Chucky's burnt body pops out through the air vent and starts strangling the cop even more than that mustache is strangling his upper lip. Jesus, dude, just die already. Norris must have been thinking the same thing because he shoots him through the
Well,
heart.
thank
Blood
goodness that's
splatters everywhere,
over.
and Chucky
Well,
is finally
for this
dead, so
movie,
he'll
because
go
it
on the
turns out
list,
there's
even though
a
I
lot
already
more
counted Charles Lee
movies.
Ray. Whatever, I do what I want. Chucky signs off with one last utterance of his catchphrase.
I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
And that'll give you nightmares. The
I already
detectives,
had
Karen
enough
and
nightmares
Andy
with
all leave
Kane
the
and
room,
his
with
and the
freeze
last
frame capturing
adventure
Andy's
in the
photo
haunted
and book as the
mansion.
final frame of
I
the
don't
film.
want any
And I
more
hate it when movies
nightmares.
end on a freeze frame for no good reason. Come on, let's get to the kills. If you count both Charles Lee Ray and Chucky as separate deaths, then 6 people die in this movie. Pretty low for a slasher, but that's okay. Chucky's just getting started. Of the victims, 5 were men and only 1 was a woman, so there was a pretty stark gender imbalance going on. With a runtime of 87 minutes, we wound up with a kill on average every 14.5 minutes, and they were actually spaced apart pretty evenly. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Dr. Ardmore. All the kills were unique, but this one was the most gruesome, especially the shot with all that blood coming out of his eyes.
So
The
gruesome,
famous kill
but
was
awful.
Charles Lee Ray, who bled out to death after getting shot a couple of times. It's bullshit. He did not die well. He did not. Oh, hi, Chucky. And that's it. Child's Play was released in 1988 and caused a bit of an uproar, with concerned parents of the conservative 80s outraged by the concept of a killer doll. Chucky persevered though, and we got a whole heap of sequels, the first of which I'll be covering next week. Until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count.
Well, make sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.